Welcome to another tidbit of timely truth. I hope you understand that my goal in sharing these tidbits is to bring a message of encouragement and hope to those of us who live in a world that desperately needs to be encouraged and given hope. I've been hearing and reading a lot of predictions and warnings, some even doom and gloom theories that regarding this solar eclipse that's coming this next Monday, April the 8th. And some of those things that I've heard or read have caught my attention to the point of considering their validity or lack thereof, while others of them are just plain outlandish. I remember when our calendar turned from 1999 to 2000, that same type of hysteria was taking place regarding Y2K, as it was then referred to. That hype and hysteria warned of water supply sources, the electrical grids, transportation and food supplies would be adversely affected as the result of computer systems not having the capability to accommodate the use of dates in which the year began with a number 2 rather than the number 1. Purchases of generators and people stocking their shelves with bottled water and food supplies caused anxiety to the point of panic. There were many who even believed that Y2K was going to signal the end of the world. Well, to my knowledge, none of those things happened, and at 12 a.m. on January 1st, 2000, the calendar flipped to another year just as it had done every year before and every year since. Not one of those doomsday warnings came to pass, at least to my awareness. But the hysteria and anxiety they caused was widespread over the entire world. I believe the same is true for those of us who believe that Jesus will one day return to this earth. We believe that because he said that he would return. But Jesus, knowing that humanity would respond to his warning of return, would try to set a date for that return. And in response, he told us very plainly that we're not to try to guess the time or the hour, but to maintain a readiness in light of that return. He said his return would be sudden, without warning, like a thief in the night. And his admonition was for us to be ready, for in such an hour as we think it's not going to happen, he will return. Now that's my paraphrase of what he said. So yeah, we'd like to set a date. We want to know the day and the hour. And if we had that knowledge, we could live our lives according to our own standards rather than God's. And then as that date would approach, we could make ourselves ready to meet God. You know what? If we were able to know that specific day and hour of his return, I believe we'd witness the same hype, hysteria, and anxiety as that we are witnessing now surrounding this coming solar eclipse. From my first recollections as a child, I've heard the warning sounded, Jesus is coming soon, and he is. But what is soon? Is it next week? Is it next month? Next year? 100 or 1,000 years from now? Who knows? But you see, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm going to be ready to meet Jesus, whether by way of the grave or if he returns in the clouds while I'm still in this life. But here's what I do know. Just because Jesus has not yet returned, I've not lost confidence in those warnings that he will return and return soon. I just believe that since he hasn't yet returned, it's a simple matter of understanding that his ultimate return, whenever that might be, is 60-some years closer than what it was when I first heard it. So what's the message I'd like for you to take from this? It's simply this. Live your life in such a way that his return could happen at any moment. But don't lose any sleep or worry your mind about it. Don't get caught up by a specific sign in the heavens like the solar eclipse and make it an event that will bring hysterical claims and wild theories as to its meaning and spiritual significance. When God the Father tells his son Jesus that it's time for him to return, God's not going to need a spectacular occurrence in the heavens to coincide with it. You see, I love living for Jesus. And every night when I go to bed, I go to bed with the realization that I may not see tomorrow, and that's okay with me. It's okay because I know where I'm going, and I know whom I have believed in as my Savior. And that brings me peace, rather than hysteria or being worried about wild theories that will bring me nothing more than anxiety. So let me encourage you today to live your life in that same way. Have a relationship with Jesus that will allow you to wait with anticipation rather than dread at the thought of his return. Let the S-O-N eclipse your every anxiety. I'll look forward to seeing you next time. May God bless you.